and welcome to the Pandemic Diary 2020. I am Joan Achong, and with me is my co-host, Emily Blake.
Morning, Joan.
Hello, Emily. How are you?
Oh, not too bad, thank you. It's all rainy here in Norfolk. How is it in London?
Oh, it's rainy, gray. I just want my pillow, but we had to come out here this morning to do the show
Yes,
and
we
to keep
do.
you informed. We've got some lovely guests today. We've got two beautiful guests, Ivona Boska, and the second one is Paula Love Clark. Hello, Ivana, and hello, Paula Love Clark.
Hi.
Hi, Paula.
Mm-hmm.
Um, tell us about yourself.
Okay. First of all, Love is. I wasn't born with the middle name Love. It was a name given to me by my very young children at the time. It was either going to be that or Armband. So they went with Love. Otherwise, I would have been called Paula Armband Clark. So we went with Love, and I use it in my email address. And then when I started creating my paintings and writing, then I started using it as my creative name. So I call myself Paula Love Clark. I'm actually a makeup artist, and I also interview myself. I've been doing the Brits Awards after party and red carpet events. I was doing that before the lockdown. So I started doing that. I write articles for Integrity magazine and started doing events. And then with lockdown coming in, obviously all my work had gone. And so I started to write. So I have a poetry book coming out in the next couple of weeks called Ode to Woman, sorry, and self-help book, which I've just finished and I'm editing. And I've got 19 paintings, oil paintings, one of which is behind me. I don't know if you can see. I paint angels, and I'm called the Painter of Angels. That's me.
Wow.
I'm a single mum of 3. Yeah.
That's a lot. You've been keeping busy. Ivana, what about yourself? Tell us about yourself.
I can talk a lot about myself at the beginning. I can start that I'm named as Ivona Boska, and this is I'm co-founder of HBT company, which the short is from habit, but the longer version of this is heuristic body therapy. Which means I'm just doing stuff which usually people don't do, because I'm mixing up a lot of different therapies with it. I was doing for a long period of time, over 15 years, massage therapy. At the moment, I'm adding up a lot of stuff which is related to hypnotherapy and acupuncture. And I would say my main passion is well-being and health, and this has been for a really long period of time. And I'm professional therapist, and I have multidisciplinary training in a massage and learning about the human's body. I was trained and qualified by co-founder of NLP, Richard Bandler, which is also mentor and coach for the associate like Paul McKenna. That's just the big names coming in. But at the moment, because I'm locked down, I just started discovering new things around the massage and mixing up with the hypnotherapy and acupuncture, which I can talk about this quite a lot. But in the background, I'm professional as well, a property developer, and just I have property portfolio as well. And I have been known previously like a fashion model as well.
No, wow, y'all have got such a diverse background now. The whole program today, which I forgot to mention at the beginning, Pandemic Diary 2020 talks about individuals from all over the world and all the different events that's taking place with the COVID-19 and how it affects each and every one of us near and far. And today, I forgot to introduce that into the program, but I'm interjecting it before everyone starts having a conversation with each other and explaining what's going on in their lives. Now, I'm going to direct the conversation to Paula Love Clark. So, Paula, before the COVID-19 lockdown, your life was very busy within the media platform. You paint, you write, And what else do? You do an open mic, don't you? You used to perform open mics.
Yes, at a
Tell
local.
us about that.
Local. It's called Dorking is Talking. I live in Dorking in Surrey, and a friend of mine set up Dorking is Talking about 2 years ago, and she invited me. I think the third month in to do open mic. I was petrified. Absolutely, that's my daughter. Yeah, so that's my website. That's actually my daughter, who's a model and a singer-songwriter. That isn't. That's she's lovely. So that's my makeup website. So before that, I was a makeup artist in fashion. So I did Cannes Film Festival. That was a lovely shoot, actually, because that got into. I've got 7 published articles, one of which internationally, and one of it which was. This is for makeup. It was the front cover of an international fashion magazine. So I did that was in my first year. I got 7 publications. I was in 7 publications in the first year. That's my daughter as well. So I really enjoyed it. And then come September, I was doing music videos over the summer holiday. And then come September, I decided with my youngest son, nearly 9, I decided that I would try and get into television and commercials. And I needed short, sharp makeup work, but I needed to get better paid. And obviously TV pays really well as a makeup artist because the hours are very long and it's full on. So with him getting a little bit older, I decided to do that. And I literally had a feature film, 3 short films, 5 commercials, and a sitcom pilot all set up starting in March. So I could actually see a future in that. And then obviously all this happened. And I had about 3 days before the lockdown where I panicked and thought, where's all the work going? What am I going to do? How am I going to survive? You know, I'm the breadwinner. What am I going to do? And I had this big panic situation. It lasted about 48 hours. And then I thought, okay, there's nothing I can do about it. The most important thing is that my kids are safe and that I'm safe. So we embraced lockdown. And then I thought, what else can I do? So I'd already created from December to February 19 paintings, one of which I sold to a guy in New York who's now moved to LA. And he's got a 3-book, 3-film deal and wants to use my angel paintings as part of his merchandise. So I knew that was coming up as well. So I thought, well, I've got that. And then what else can I do? And I'd written a poetry book last year and then I'd illustrated it. And so I decided to try and get that published. And next week, it's going to be on Amazon. Hopefully, I'll get it all sorted out, just done the proof. And then I thought, I can do more than that. I can use all the skills and tools that I've learned because I've had a pretty challenging life. And I'm going to write a self-help book and see if I can help other people. I finished that a couple of weeks ago and I'm in the process of editing it. And my plan is on Monday to approach a publisher and say, would you be interested in publishing this book? But I know it's going to happen. It's just a question.
What is a self-help book about? That's wonderful. But what is a self-help book about, Paula?
Okay, so it's called The 7 Traits of a Highly Successful Single Parent. It's basically, I've survived lots and lots of challenges, as I've said, and it's my story, but incorporated to help other people. So it's how I used specific tools and techniques and self-development techniques to literally pick myself up from the floor and then almost reinvent myself by learning new skills, like changing a negative mindset to a positive mindset, saying yes to opportunity. That was a massive thing for me. I've got a life coach. I had a life coach who literally rescued me. This is all I can say. In August 2018, I was so lost, so broken by the previous year's events that affected my family that I was just so negative. Everything was I can't and I won't and it's not going to happen to me. And I was so stuck in this negative mindset that I could not, literally, that cliche, I couldn't see the wood for the trees. I could not see how I could get out from this situation I was in. I was in debt. I felt like a failure. I felt like I was failing not just myself, but my family. And all my dreams and all my hopes and all my ambitions, I saw them disappear because life hadn't worked out for me. And so Richard came into my life. He'd had an accident that nearly killed him, and he was in a hospital bed, and he couldn't speak and he couldn't move. And so he could message. So he messaged me and he kept messaging me. And I prayed 3 months previous for a free life coach because I had no money. And he came in, and literally in 6 weeks, he'd flipped my mindset from a very, very dark, shadowy, negative mindset to a positive one. I could actually see future. And then in January, when I set all my goals, he said to me, say yes to every opportunity. If it's a good opportunity, say yes and figure out the how later. So I started saying yes. I said yes to Cannes Film Festival without figuring out how I was going to do it, how I was going to do the childcare. And I'd only been doing makeup a year, less than a year, only 10 months when I said yes. Actually, 9 months when I said yes. So I just kept saying yes to everything. And I became known as the yes girl. And suddenly I saw my life changing. And where I am today, I haven't had one stress moment at all the entire 5.5 weeks, because my mindset is, okay, I'm exactly where I'm meant to be and I'm trusting the process. And in fact, more and more, I'm seeing that everything was already inside me before. I just put all these layers in front of me and all these barriers and boundaries, and all this thick sludge was standing in front of me, but it was all the answers were already there. And so the self-help book is about helping people to go from where I was, if they are in that place, to where I am, and showing them how. And if they take one tip, one golden nugget, one bit of advice from the whole of the book, then as far as I'm concerned, it was worth the money that they paid for it.
Thank you very much. Ivona?
Yes.
Thank you so much, Paula. Ivona, you have you're equipped with well-being. You are a well-being practitioner. Sorry, I don't know why I got tongue-tied there for a moment. Does that link any ways with Paula, what Paula has just said, as a well-being coach?
In different aspect, definitely yes. Even I can relate to some aspect of what the Paula story was telling, and I've just kind of tried to make some kind of notes to don't forget about this, because just Paula mentioned the Richard, which he cannot talk because of car accident. I've got similar story recently. Year before this happened, I had a quite serious car accident myself, which I nearly died, not literally, but mentally actually. I was pushed under the lorry in the motorway, and my car is completely written off, but I was quite lucky. But my life needs to change completely. But this is not the first breakdown actually in my life. I've got used to that sort of breaks. And I said, just this kind of breaks changed my life completely, every single one. I could start from even first time. After the first time I had a quite serious situation in my life, I started to learn how to fly. That actually this is life-changing. The next one, when I have situation when I cannot walk or talk because I've got mentally completely down, I start to, afterwards, I just think, I just can't live like this. I start to buying properties. And I cannot really wait for things to happen after this one. Before this car accident happened, I feel like I need to change something as well. But whatever actually makes me to realize that I can't rely on skills which I used to have, which I was doing massage therapy for a really long time because it makes me happy and makes me relax, and I can see how much I can help people. But during the time I was doing this one, I've noticed a lot of changes in people, and I've noticed how much I can help them. And certain things I couldn't explain on a deeper level within the spiritual aspect as well, as much as the body. I tap into that. I've started expanding from the massage, even before this isolation situation. I've started expanding this kind of aspect of mental and physical connection. And from that time, I think something needs to happen, because I was so comfortable in my zone. I didn't want to change myself. But this actually, isolation makes me to change, completely my life. That what I'm doing now, I'm just combining these massage skills. And obviously I cannot do that now, but I just think, hang on a minute, everybody needs the touch and feelings and emotional kind of aspect of being with somebody else. But if we cannot do this one, we need to help ourselves. That I've just combined the massage skills with acupressure and acupuncture points, and obviously with certain kind of setup, mental setup, and with certain skills, we can help ourselves with some physical aspect and a mental aspect as well. The same way like a massage therapist would do, or sometimes the hypnotherapist could do as well the same way, because the mental and the physical connection is beyond the belief. I remember one time when I was at the airport, and this was Kennedy Airport, and if you've been there, that you know overnight is nowhere to go, and suddenly I saw the man which walking in and out from the toilet with nosebleeds, and it was so severe he just couldn't sit still, and he must to go in and out every few minutes. It was a Chinese man, late 30s, and he was really struggling. He was sweating. He was really unwell, and I just asked him if I can help him. And this was the time when I've actually started to only learning acupuncture. I didn't even do needling. I said, maybe I can help you with certain acupressure points if you allow me to. And he was quite happy to do so. And what I've done within the 5 minutes, I would say, I helped him with nosebleeds, and I was kind of amused myself how this is even possible without having any needles around me. I was using acupressure points, obviously talking to him certain way. And after 20 minutes, he was talking to me. He didn't have the nose bleeding. And could you imagine yourself on the fly like he was, just supposed to fly 12 hours to China with nosebleeds? But I do believe there's a lot of people suffering with that sort of issues, with a health condition, which they don't know what to do. But it's very simple tools to adapt and to adjust to the situation. If you know what to do and how to do, I just said just so many things we can even didn't realize existing, but they're such a simple things. We can help each other and help ourselves in these circumstances. There's many stories I can talk about this one, but this is kind of much more dramatic.
Yeah.
So, Ivona, with the acupressure, it's something that you're saying people can actually learn to do on themselves. So,
Yes.
with it being the lockdown situation, is that something you're looking to then teach other people?
Yeah. This will be my new program, which I was thinking for quite a long period of time, but it needs to be some certain mental setup as well with that. And interesting enough, I was using the same skills when I was doing dating with guys previously, when I tried to make people more relaxed with me and just make them feeling better about themselves. And I was using actually just hand pressure on them, everybody willingly to do so. And I can see amazing results straight away. That my new program, which I'm kind of working at the moment, is actually developing that sort of very basic skills with mental setup. And if you know which point to press, you can just have amazing results straight away.
Well, I'd love to follow you actually, because I suffer with tinnitus myself, and I've seen a few articles about acupressure and how it might be able to help. So I will be watching you definitely, and maybe signing up to your program. Sounds very good.
Happy to
So
have you.
I'm going to go back to Paula. I'm just wondering, how have things sort of changed for you day to day? Is it a lot different now for you? Because obviously you've got 3 children you're looking after as well. How is life for you right now?
Very different, but I've only got 2 children.
Oh, 2, sorry.
One child with me at the moment. My older daughter didn't live with me. She lived She lived in London, and how weirdly this worked. But on the weekend that their dad had the other 2, then because one dad was the same. And on the weekend, they had the other two. My daughter actually got made homeless. So I took her in. This is my 17, she's nearly 18-year-old. Took her in, and then my ex-husband decided to kind of keep the kids and give her some space. So it's been really good because I haven't had a living home with me for quite a while. So it's been really beautiful. And obviously I message my other two. We see each other quite a lot, but it's been very different because it sounds really strange. I've been allowed to reconnect with me again, and I'm not just mum. So I really feel, I was looking at, went out for a walk. We go to the woods every evening about 7 o'clock because we think that's quite quiet time. And sometimes we see families out and they've got young kids. And I think back to when I had young kids, 3 young kids at home, and it was like, oh my word, can you imagine having young children with this lockdown? It must be really crazy. So I'm really blessed. My day is so different. In fact, I run out of hours in the day. I know it's really weird because I fill it. I fill it with so much stuff, and I'm really happy. I haven't felt stressed in, like I said, in nearly 6 weeks. I haven't felt stressed. I was to the point of exhaustion. I had 2 days of exhaustion the 10 days before the lockdown because I was networking. I was going to events. As I said, I had so much makeup work planned, and I was going to be literally out of the house at 6 in the morning and not back till about 7, 8 at night. And I couldn't figure out in my head how I was going to do it. So I was expending a lot of mental energy on stress. I was really stressed out, even thinking about how I was going to manage the childcare, because I have literally no family other than 4 sisters, and we're scattered all over the country, and no support network. So, or very, very small support network. So everything would have been a huge juggle, and it always is, which is why this time at home it's been beautiful. I know it's really crazy to say, apart from going to the chocolate cupboard all the time, because there's always chocolate. It's just been beautiful. I've been dancing. So I hip hop and street dance. So I've been doing that at home. I've been dancing every morning and exercising, and I feel mentally and physically on top of myself for the first time in a very long time. And I'm so excited about the future. I'm actually just really happy, which is incredible. And I'm very, very grateful. I'm very grateful. I think the first thing I do when I wake up is say my gratitudes. And the first thing I do and just before I go to sleep, I'm grateful for everything. And I'm really, really grateful for my daughter being here and she's safe. Mm-hmm. So that's it really.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you have any type of routine, and obviously you mentioned that you do the gratitude thing. Is this something that you have to physically write down, or do you do it in your mind?
No, I've in my book I've got a section on gratitude and techniques of doing it. Gratitude is key because what it does is it takes away that feeling of lack. When we have a feeling of lack in our lives, it can make us depressed, anxious, stressed. It can produce all kinds of ailments within our body. Like I went through a real lack of money. So I really felt the lack of money and the lack of a partner. I mean, I've pretty much been partnerless since my marriage ended 6 years ago, other than a 6-month relationship. And I've put such an emphasis on not having a partner and not having someone there that I felt the lack of someone. But I just fill that space with me, with self-love instead. So gratitude is very much, I'm grateful. I wake up and I just say 10 things I'm grateful for. And it could be just waking. I always say I'm grateful for waking up because there are lots of people who don't wake up in the morning. And I do the same. Going to bed, I'm grateful for so-and-so messaging me. I'm grateful for my children. I'm grateful that my ex-husband is looking after them. I'm grateful that they're having bonding time with him because I'm the main carer. So every single day I write gratitude. I speak my gratitudes. But I used to get into the habit of that. I wrote them down. So I got a gratitude book and I used to every single morning write them down. But I found that I've got into the mental habit of doing it. So I can just wake up and within 5-10 minutes, I've said 10 things I'm grateful for and really feel it. And then what that does is it lifts your heart and it lifts your well-being. It just gives you a better state of being, because you start the day with gratitude, with feeling of abundance rather than a feeling of lack. Rather than, oh no, I don't want to get out of bed. It's like, yes, I'm alive. Let's face the day. And it does. It takes a while to get into the habit, but it does work. It really does. I think it's one of the best things that we can do, is to be grateful every single day.
I love that. This is why you're called Paula Love Clark.
Yeah.
So how about you, Ivona? Do you have a daily routine? Because you also seem quite positive. You know, you've got lots to focus on during this situation that we could look at in a really negative way. And it obviously can get us down. So is there anything that you do to try and keep yourself mentally on top of things?
Yeah, interesting. I used to do that before the isolation, sending myself a love, funny enough, every single morning. But I just have tendency to forget things, and especially with a lockdown, I've just on the beginning, I think, oh, I'll be fine. But as soon as this started, I start to get a little bit chaotic because getting out of the usual things. But I have a friend, Philip Chan, and he actually reintroduced me to something which I've told him about, the gratitude things, which already Paula said. And this is amazing. We carry on the WhatsApp group chat with other people about the gratitude. And the task is just to wake up every morning, and within half an hour, you must write down 40 things you're grateful for. And a number of times I was really angry. I just really didn't want to do that. It's just amazing. But every single time when I've done, I think, oh my God, I'm actually feeling really nice after just writing few things. Same as Paula said, but obviously she's got already in her system. I haven't got yet. But what I'm trying to achieve, just trying to think, what can I build from that? Every single crash down make us completely different people. We need to apply to these changes and be grateful for that sort of situation, because otherwise we will never find ourselves in this situation ever again. I don't believe anything like this will happen very soon, and definitely not within our lifetime. That we need to figure it out what we can do with the situation we've got, despite of how bad it is. But every single bad situation, as we make ourselves coming from, make us much, much stronger, and try to see from outside the picture, outside the situation, and look forward for the future plans. And I really like when Paula said about her books and people she's going to meet up, and the future plans. This is the main thing we need to do, just to focus on something which we're looking forward, not concentrate on stuff which we already in, because this is present moment and the present time. And some people could struggle with this because they said, oh my God, what I'm going to do tomorrow. Don't think about that term, just think about what you're looking forward to get when you have the situation finished, what you really wanted to do and what you haven't been doing, because you've been obviously doing normal things like everybody else been doing for a really long period of time, just get habitual stuff that I just said, just habitual things. It's just such a powerful things, but get us to the place when we already know. And if you want to change anything in your life, you need to change your habits. You need to change your routine. And this is the time when we have opportunity to look up our routine, our habits, and just think, hang on a minute, what do I don't like with this? And this is the time to change. You just look forward and just build up new strength. And Paula just is so right with the gratitude thing. It's just so powerful. It's very simple things. This is really, people don't realize, very simple things make us look forward and look brighter side of the life rather than focus on the darker side, which we tend to do that, just as normal things to do. We just panic this mode, and it's just, you know, focus on ourselves, play the victim mode. It's very easy to do, but the easiest things to do as well is just focus on the positive.
Yeah.
And I like when Paula said about pictures, drawing pictures. I think I really want to do that, but it's like, oh my God, what I need to do now to make this happen.
Yeah, I wish I could as well. You know, I'm so tempted to get online and get myself some canvases just to express, you know, because painting, I think, is one of those things where no one can really judge you for it or say that's right and that's wrong. You are just expressing yourself. And is that what you like about doing your artwork, Paula?
Really weird. Okay, so I'm a Christian, but I became more spiritual, and by becoming more spiritual, I attracted more people to me with messages, which that might sound really weird, right? But that's what happened to me. And so from beginning of 2018 through to December 2019, I was told I have to paint angels. And I didn't understand why it had to be angels. I was told I have to paint angels. And what you don't know about me is I was going to art college at 18, and then some major trauma happened in my life, and I almost lost my sister. And I said, I'm never picking up a paintbrush again. So I turned my place down at Cardiff Art College, which I fought very hard to get. And I didn't. I think it was about 22 years until I picked up a paintbrush properly again. And after my marriage ended, I took myself on an art course and started to play with oils and discovered I really liked that medium. Then again, I did it for about a year and then I forgot about it. So I started tentatively painting. And then in December, when I was told literally I have to paint angels by about the 5th or 6th person, I said, right. So I went and got myself some canvases, like you said, Emily, and I just said, right, okay, what do you want me to paint? Like, so the ether, whatever I was doing. And I just started painting an image. And then from there, every single painting is different. I just say, what do you want me to paint? And then it just comes out. I start with a color. It sounds really weird, but every single painting I've done has not been thought about. I've just got the canvas, got my paint, and just thought, what am I painting? And then things come out. It's
really inspirational. It came out of sheer inspiration and what's in your heart. Because I always wanted to ask you, you just answered the question, why angels? Why the significance of angels?
I think, truthfully, I don't know, but I also painted 100 hand-painted angel greeting cards, which I'm turning into, I sold some and I gave lots away at Christmas, but I'm turning them into a business now. So I've got 10 cards printed up, photographed, ready to be printed. So after I finished editing, that's my next project.
You're a very busy woman. You're a very busy woman.
I don't have enough hours in the day, lordy. I love it though, because, you know, for the last 18 months, I'm living the life I should have been living from the age of 18. I literally put my life on hold. I should, with all my ambitions and goals and all the ideas I've had since a very young age, I should be a multimillionaire. I'm an entrepreneur at heart, and I've always had ideas, but I've always looked at other people to support me. And instead, I realized I've got everything I need to support myself. And the biggest thing I had to do was learn to love me, because unless you love yourself entirely, how do you expect anyone else to love you? And it's the greatest thing you can teach your kids. Love yourself first. Then what you're doing is you're showing everyone else how to treat you. And for years, I didn't love me. I didn't like me, and I didn't love me. And it's really hard sitting in front of a camera and looking at all my faults. You know, I can see all my faults and saying that's okay, because what I do is I look at my eyes, because I like my eyes. And then I won't see how thin my lip is, or how many wrinkles I have, or how big my nose is, or all the things that I've been told by people who were bullies in my life, I had to get over seeing. And I think angels are just the purest expression, going back to your point, your question, they're the purest expression of something outside of me. And I really don't know. And I'm also friends with Philip Chan. And when I know. And when I first met him, I brought a painting to show him. And he said, you're the angel painter, aren't you? That's what you are. And I looked it up, and then instead I became the painter of angels. I'm actually registered as the painter of angels.com and .co.uk. And I've just given myself that title. And then I've got I've painted 19 paintings in something like 10 weeks. And they're all big, most of them are big canvas oil paintings. And I've got a tiny house, so they scattered everywhere.
I was just about to say, how do you cope with all the paintings and the children at the same time? They must be falling over themselves on painting canvases.
My children, they're my biggest fans and they're my biggest supporters. And so my 17-year-old is now a model. She's a singer-songwriter. She just bought her own beats. She has her own story. I'm not even going to talk about it, but she's part of the reason why I was flattened in 2017. She has her own story, and I said I wouldn't talk about it. But how it affected me is how it comes out in my book to help other people, because I had to learn some skills. And then my middle daughter doesn't know what she wants to be, but I've written her a song, and somebody's turning it into a song, because I'm also a lyricist. And so she'll record that, and she's 15. And then my son, he goes from wanting to be a rocket scientist to an artist, to an architect, to an actor or a model. He knows he can do anything, because
the thing is, sorry, just to interject, you've done so many things. So as far as I'm concerned, I think as far as he may be concerned, if mommy could do it all and be all these different things, an author, artist, a poet, poetry to music, everything, so can he. He could be an architect, he could be a model, he could be a musician, he could be a rocket scientist, he could be all of those things and still be himself.
Exactly. And we've always got Les Brown or Oprah or Maya Angelou or Will Smith. I've always got all these speakers, and Dr. Wayne Dyer. He's all the time are playing in the background.
They've got multiple. They've got all these people you're talking about have multiple skills and have been successful. Yes.
Yeah.
He can do it too.
Positivity. So yeah, they're good kids. I'm really pleased.
But during the lockdown, how is your family life being affected during the lockdown of COVID-19?
Hugely. So my son, obviously they're homeschooling. So their dad is homeschooling them and doing well, which is really good. He's having a lot of bonding with the children. And my older one is, she's really changed. She's completely changed in 5 weeks. She's doing a lot of healing. And she's got PTSD, post-traumatic, PTSD. So she's really healing. She's been doing a lot of healing. We've been very close. She's written a song, which she's going to release. She's bought herself some beats. She's saving to get money for studio. You know, she's thinking about a job. And so, it's been really good.
That's beautiful bonding moment. You're getting quality time with your daughter, and you're getting the quality bonding moment with your daughter as well. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So COVID-19 has had a very positive impact on your life. What about you, Ivona? How has COVID-19 affected your life and how you live day to day? I'm pulling you into the mix now.
Yeah, I've just already need to hold on a dating thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Your personal life has been affected by the COVID-19.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just listening to Paula, how she's coping by herself with so many children around. And it's just very inspirational woman that I really like to listen what she's doing. I just want to say that I do believe we all have certain aspect of ourselves we don't want to face. And probably the aspect of being on ourselves just bring a lot of into the surface, which you cannot put in under the carpet anymore. You need to deal with. We've got a lot of distractions.
So what have you been pulling out from underneath the carpet? You can't put it under the carpet anymore. You've got to take out that, and so you're having to deal and cope with different things in your own personal life. How are you working through them?
I try to not walk away from my own problems and try to face them. Okay, I just think, okay, this is the time for me to deal with that. But it's interesting aspect of this dealing with, as I talking to my friends, they've got exactly the same problem. that probably we are all friends together. We're facing the similar kind of aspect of being very vulnerable, feeling very anxious, angry. You can shout, scream if you feel like, but this is going back to reality. Nothing you can do, just stuck in time nearly. This is kind of, I said, just very challenging for me, especially just I don't have small children around me. My daughter's already adult and moved on. That I'm trying to focus on what is for me in this moment in time and refocus all the attention on myself, which is quite difficult, to be honest. It's very easy to get distracted by other people and going for the dating. I was just looking forward for that. And now just like everything is just, hold on. I think, okay, what is this for
Join
me
the club.
then?
The same thing with me. I'm a single woman as well. And the dating process is on hold because of the COVID-19. Yeah, you can't do anything about it. It's just
But
like,
I
go
do
on,
believe,
sorry.
I do believe, no, it's okay. Just I'm listening to you. And I do believe from this lockdown, I've actually reset the man which I will be looking for, because I will be a different woman. That the man which will come up from this lockdown will be different man for me. I will be looking for different aspect in a man, and I try to be better woman as myself, love myself more, and set myself as a priority. What already Paula said, which is really important. Focus on yourself. We don't have a choice now. We must to focus on ourselves, our needs, our basic needs, our higher needs as well. All of them are as important. And the most important as well is just to find out what is the priority for us in this moment in time and focus on that. If this is like some kind of aspect of health, some kind of aspect of mental development in the such a thing like gaining new skills. If it's something which we want to more focus like a family, this is a really big subject coming up now, because a lot of people just start to hating each other family. Some people just like, they start to realize how important family life is for them. And because they've been surrounded with a lot of friends, they just sometimes didn't have a time for own family. Now just become reset time. This is the time for us, figure it out what we want in our life and focus on this. And if we do that sort of like a prioritizing thing, to just put list, what do I want in my life, and focus on that, who I want to become as. I don't want to do coaching here and now, but it's I say just figure it out who you want to be as in the long term as inspiration, like Paula mentioned already. Offer if you want to be like her, inspire more people, go more, developing more own skills like self-help for other people as well. Or if you want to be more fit, just you can still work on that sort of aspect. But for myself, I've actually, funny enough, it's just a funny story, because for a long time, for over a year, I couldn't even run. I couldn't hardly walk, because the car accident affected me so badly that I have pains and aches. I couldn't do anything. But I just think I was so fed up with myself sitting down, and I just think I need to do something. And I know it's not advice for everyone, but I just think I think I must start run. I love jogging. I was just doing 5K before the car accident for myself, but I couldn't do that because my foot pain was so bad and aches is horrendous. I just think I couldn't go over that. I couldn't motivate myself enough to start with the jog. But what I've done, I've just took, it's not advisable, by the way, 2 glasses of port, and I started jogging, because I overcome my natural fear of overanalyzing, overthinking. That is really difficult to actually motivate yourself sometimes. I was like, okay, shut down this internal voice. I know I need to do for myself that, in a situation like this, I think I must do that for myself. That just actually does help. People just like, oh, wow, how you possibly just, do these things and joke. I think I could, because I know my mind. I know myself, and actually just does help. And since then, I've done a lot, not just fully jogging yet, but I've overcome my own fears. to get pain, and actually just the body cope with it slowly. Just I need to do gently, obviously, within myself, that every single new skills need to adapt and cooperate really slowly, just to get used to own system, like the habitual things just develop over the time. Could happen instantly for the situation, like it's a very emergency things, like people just say you're going to lose your life, you need to stop smoking. But if I found a lot of normal people, the habitual things which we used to do in our lives just take a really long time, and we need to be gentle with ourselves, just to get a situation like, yeah, I must do that. Yeah, but we're still human. Just take a time, do very, very slowly, very small steps, as small as possible. And just for every single change in our lives, need to be gentle with ourselves. This is what I need to say. And I'm doing this one to myself as well. Be gentle to myself. Don't be so hard. Don't be so overcritical. We just, we're just still human. Just talk to ourselves like a little babies. You can do that. This is what I talk to myself now.
It's beautiful. It's a really very inspirational story you've just shared with us about your life. Now, like, what are you gonna do? What are your plans for after the COVID-19? What are you gonna do differently that you've learned over this period of time? What are you gonna do differently once the COVID-19 panic has died down?
Well, this is a good question. I definitely know I can do something quite incredible, because I did try to replace Juliet balcony window the time when every single company was just locked down. And I think I've done a really incredible job. Not myself, I'd find somebody else to do that for me. And what I'm going to do, I definitely need to focus on my career, but with different aspects, which I did postpone for a really long period of time, like combine the massage skills with some kind of mental and aspect of our well-being. And this is what my main focus should be for a long time, but I said I did postpone this one. But I do believe this will benefit a number of people. And until this point, I tried to find somebody else, and maybe this podcast could help me, somebody who have got very similar interests and very similar skills like myself, and help me out to build this program. Because I just don't know anybody who actually got similar aspect of health, physical health, with mental health, with, I said, just get back to the Chinese principles, TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, because I do believe this. We need to get back to our original place where we are, and work on our mental health through our body. This is, I do believe, there's a lot of people which at the moment suffering with a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression. We can talk about nice things for a long time, but the stuff which is quite cruel for most of the people, they don't know how to cope, and need to actually help them, to give them certain tools, show them actually you can do that. Doesn't need to be big change, doesn't need to be a huge number of money to be involved, engaged, but very small steps. Give them confidence, give them courage, and doing this one for others. I feel that I'm doing this one to myself more. This is, I found out, as more I'm doing to others, I feel like giving myself more.
No, that's so beautiful, Ivana. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Paula, I'd like to bring back Paula into our chat room. Hello, Paula. Hi. How are you? We've not forgotten you, Paula. I would like to ask you the same question, Paula. What are you going to do differently once the pandemic has died down? What are some of the things are you going to do after the pandemic has died down, COVID-19?
Well, firstly, before I answer that, I want to say, Ivana, I totally agree with you that it's all about changing ourselves. This taking that time for self-reflection. I totally agree with you. And also, I love that you changed your dating type. I love that. I love that you changed the guy that you're looking for. Yeah, I get it. I get it totally. Same. So what am I going to do? I'd like to be a speaker. And I would, in fact, I've had this dream for 3 years that I want to be an inspirational speaker. My inspirations are Les Brown, the American motivational speaker, and also Lisa Nichols, who's an inspirational speaker. They both have stories. and I'd like to basically share my story, really, and encourage other people. The reason I wanted to do that is last year, 2 people told me that they didn't commit suicide because of some posts that I'd shared. And 4 other people told me that I'd inspired them to retrain or be better parents and so on. And I wasn't even trying to do that. So I think if I took that energy deliberately and put it towards trying to inspire people, then my job on earth is done almost. If I can help one person, just one person, via a message of hope, then for me, that's what I'd like to do. And it's very difficult for me because I was in quite a controlling marriage. So I came out with my tongue stuck to my roof of my mouth, where I was very unconfident, I was very shy, I had a stammer when I came out of my marriage. I was that shy. And so to want to be a speaker has meant I've had to mentally overcome a lot of what ifs, and I can't, and I'm not good enough, and I'm not enough, etc. I've had to overcome that. So that's where I'm visualizing myself as a speaker, helping other people, interspersing it with poetry. I'd love to speak my poetry. I've been doing lives on Facebook to build up confidence, and maybe carry on with interviewing, maybe doing makeup work, and just see where it all goes. Really, yeah. I'm open.
In closing, would any of you ladies like to share, like Paula, where would we get your books, your artwork? Where are you advertising? Your have you got a website where you could advertise your work that people could access you?
Of course. So I haven't got a website for my writing at the moment, but I've got a Facebook group that I've just set up, a Facebook page that I've just set up called Paula Love Clark Creative. And so I'm started this morning posting some of my paintings on there. My book comes out next week. It'll be on Amazon. You can get it on Kindle, and it's called An Ode to Woman. It's a poetry book on the life cycle of a woman, from pregnancy through to menopause and dating, divorce, etc., through to end of life. And it's illustrated myself. And so that'll be on. And then when the other book gets published, that'll be on. And I've got 3 novels planned, as well as 2 more poetry books coming this year. So yeah, they'll be on there.
This is exciting. I'm going to hop straight onto your Facebook page, Paula. And, you're saying that you want to be an inspirational speaker. Well, you're doing it already. You really are. So just keep going. And even though you said you're open, you've got your little visions and things you want to focus on. So just keep going.
Thank you for having me on.
You're so welcome. It's been absolutely brilliant. And I'm feeling nice and inspired. We were saying we were tired in the morning, it's raining, but now I'm like, what can we do to make the best of today? So thank you so much, Paula. Ivona, do you have a website or anywhere we can find your services?
I was just thinking, when you're just talking about advertising, I used to keep myself on myself. I usually have a lot of references that I was quite exclusive for a number of years with people, because I've got clients I don't need to advertise myself. Now I need to reset everything again, which is a fascinating new word for me. I've got a Facebook page, Holistic Body Therapy. And website is the same, holisticbodytherapy.com. This is what I can say. And you can find me on the private Facebook as well, like Ivona Boska, but by W, because it's my Polish name, first name. And thank you very much for all lovely ladies that cheers me up as well. Give me more wings like an angel.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm going to interject. We've got someone, Ben, saying good vibes. Thank you, Ben, so much for tapping in. And thank you so much for joining us. Heart love. And I'm afraid this is all the time we've got. I'd like to thank my guests for coming onto the show today, and my co-presenter, Emily Blake, and our show studio producer and director, Mr. Moinul Hossain Mukul. And it's Joan Achong, and bye-bye for now, and be safe. Bye, everyone. Thank you for joining in.
Thank you.